I'm going to share the messages that this higher being shared with me, with you. This higher being was very difficult to explain. It was multidimensional and all-consuming, and honestly felt like a higher form of consciousness that was made up of many, many beings. And I was being shown things and having thoughts and energies and energy forms shared with me so that I could share a message with humanity, because I don't think people understand what's happening. Before I get into that, I want to share a little bit more about my predictive dreams, and one in particular that I had in my early 20s. And this dream always stayed with me because I never really understood what it meant fully. But it was quite terrifying, and it had to do with nuclear warfare. And at the time, I tried to share it with a couple of people, and they told me, just focus on my life, live a happy life, find a nice man to marry, have some babies, whatever. And I kind of buried it. And that dream always stayed with me because whenever I have one of these future predictive dreams, it stays in my body. Like the energy of it stays in my body, as if all of my cells are telling me, remember this, hold on to this. And there were many details within this particular dream that I had about nuclear warfare and the beginning of World War III. Which, by the way, nothing about any of the things that I was into at the time would conjure that image in me. It was something completely outside of myself that woke me up in the middle of the night, and it always stayed with me. And fast forward now to October of 2024, which is when I kind of came back online again. I had my first vision. I was playing around with transcendental meditation, and a higher being came to me. This was when Marta came to me and began teaching me things. And one of the visions that I had, and one of the things that I saw, is how humanity is in a feedback loop of fear. And that feedback loop of fear is going to end up destroying us and completely destroying the planet until we figure out how to resolve it. And I was shown in the vision that I could stop an atom bomb with my mind. And it made so much sense in the vision, and I shared it with my boyfriend, I shared it with my sister, I shared it with a couple of other people, and they're like, girl, go get your mind checked. People thought that I was out of my mind. And I can see why they would think that, but I know what I felt and I know what I saw. And what I was shown and what Marta has taught me is the power of the human mind and the power of human energy. And that's what all of this is about. That's what all of this is about. And this higher being, who would not name itself, shared many things with me the other night. And I don't know really how to explain the visions that I saw or what I was experiencing, but I was trying very diligently to write everything down that I was getting. I guess you could say I was channeling. But this is something that is divine. This isn't magic. This isn't sorcery. This is something divine. This is something spiritual. And everything that's happening right now with aliens, everything that's happening with politics, everything that's happening in the world is all divine. And it has to do with Creator God Source. And what Creator God Source wants us to know is that we as the people need to learn how to come together. We as the people need to learn to put our differences aside. We need to understand that we're all saying the same things. We are all trying to worship the same God, and that it is our subtle differences that we are caught up in and stuck in feedback loops of fear over. And this was the crazy thing about what I experienced. I was sitting in a silent room with the fan going, and I was hearing the songs of the Navajo people. I was hearing Chinese grandmothers singing over their little ones. I was hearing multicultural songs ring out from all over the world. And like, I don't listen to this kind of music. I wouldn't have any way of really knowing what it sounds like. But then I went and listened to it later, and it's exactly what I was hearing. The songs of the Navajo. There's a reason why these songs move the soul. It's an energy thing. And this is what this being was showing me. So I'm going to share a little bit of it with you. And I'm just going to read some of it. I probably won't get through all of it because I have many pages of notes that I took during this vision. And it was more than a vision. It was thought transference. I was immersed in it. I was seeing and I was feeling into another dimension. And I was basically seeing the energy dimension, or like what I've referred to in the past as like my ultraviolet vision. I was seeing dreamscapes. So let me read some of this to you. And some of this is call and response. Some of this is just being shouted at me. And I'm putting the energy forms into words to the best of my ability. So the first thing that came up when I realized that there was another presence with me, I asked, "Who are you?" And the entity said, "I map your realms. I can't be named. I am a plane." And I ask, "What are you trying to share with me today?" And it says, "I want to play," with like all capital letters, PLAYYYY. But like the Y's start getting bigger, like outstretched arms, like a person with outstretched arms. And you have to understand, like, symbolism and energy realms work together. You have to look at more than just the meaning behind words. You have to look at the shapes of things. And the Y looks like outstretched arms, a person with their arms up and outstretched. Come and play, come and see, come and live in the dream dimension. It's all the time overlapping with you. 3-dimensional life, but it's time to merge them with those. My writing is pretty terrible here because I'm trying to write it fast. Those who can see you and live in the dream with you. It's time just to be, B-E-E, like a bumblebee. It's time just to be you. Learn how to merge you and see and be how you be. And then this entity, which is very feminine, by the way. It was a very feminine entity, but I wouldn't say it was a she or a woman. It just felt very feminine. Have you learned where the soul lives? That was one of the things. It's very playful, all over the place. That is one of the things that is really interesting about this particular energy. Very different from Marta. Marta was very serious, very calm, very patient. This energy was a little bit frenetic and playful. I flip the map, I disorient. I do whatever needs to be done. Peel back every layer and see. I was always there, you and me, he, like very playful. Elaborate worlds we have built, but did you leave? Oh no, but did you learn? I'm sorry. The last part that I just said. Elaborate worlds we have built, but did you learn? That's what this entity is saying to me. And I say, does any of this matter? Who's it all? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being very bad at reading this for how little time I have left. I write, does any of this matter? Was it all made just to be shattered? An illusion made to be broken? And then I have more, so I'm going to have to do a part 2.